Hello, geometry. This is 11.6 volumes of pyramids. So we had volumes of prisms and cylinders in the last lesson. This is volumes of pyramids. This would, and so what we're going to see here is that a pyramid is basically 1/3 the volume of its corresponding prism. So if you take the same base here and you'd have a prism out of it, you'd have three amounts in the pyramid that you could use to fill up the prism. Okay? So if the prism has a formula of volume equals the area of the base times the height, a pyramid will have a formula that it's 1/3 of the area of the base times the height. Okay? Because base times height gives you the volume of the prism. 1/3 base times height is going to give you the volume of the pyramid. Okay? And that's basically the formula. That's all you need to know, other than a whole lot of practice here. Let's start with a tricky one here. This is a hexagonal pyramid, and so we have a hexagon here, and the side length is 2. So I'm going to draw my hexagon over here. I have a side length 2. There's my central angle. If I take 360 divided by 6, I know my central angle is 60. That makes these 60s. I have a equilateral triangle. Remember, for this area, I need 1/2 of the apothem times the perimeter. Okay? So the apothem, if this is 2 across here, this would be 1. 30, 60, 90 rule, this is the short leg going to the long leg. This would be the square root of 3. So my apothem is the square root of 3. So the area is 1/2 times the square root of 3 times the perimeter, which would be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Should be 12. So my area I get to be 6 root 3. So for this pyramid, volume equals 1/3 the area of the base times the height of the pyramid. So volume equals 1/3. Area of the base is 6 root 3 times the height, which is 3. That's this right here. That's your height. So 1/3, 6 root 3 times 3. That would end up being 1/3 of 6 is 2. 2 times 3 is back to 6 root 3. So 6 times the square root of 3. 6 square root 3 is 10.39. Okay, so 10.39, this would be cubic inches, because we're dealing with volume, cubic inches. Okay, so we have a pyramid. We know what the vocab is, composite solid. This is just a solid comprised or made up of several shapes. The volume of a pyramid is 1/3 base times height. B is the area of the base. H is the height. So again, you can have a right pyramid or you can have an oblique pyramid. So this is a right pyramid. This would be an oblique pyramid. The height is, again, the altitude in this case. Okay, it is not the slant height. Okay, so here we go. Page 342. I have a triangular pyramid. It looks like the height of my triangle base is 4. My base of my triangle is 6. So when I do volume equals 1/3 base times height, I have a triangle in the bottom. So I have to do 1/3. Now my base is 1/3 a little b times the height, and then times the outside height, which is going to be 9. So you get volume equals 1/3, sorry, that should be 1/2 right there, 1/2. 1/2 times 6 times 4, so 6 and 4 come from here and here, 6 times 4, and then on the outside is times 9. So 1/3 times 1/2 times 6 times 4, so 1/2 of 6 is 3, 3 times 4 is 12, so 1/3 times 12 times 9, 1/3 of 12 is 4, 4 times 9 is 36. So 36 cubic centimeters for that one. Oh, a square pyramid. We like these. Volume equals 1/3 base times height. So volume equals 1/3. It's a square, so that's side squared times height. So 1/3 of 6 squared times 8. So So what's 1/3 of 36 times 8? 1/3 of 36 would be 12. 12 times 8 would be 96. So 96 cubic inches for that one. Another square pyramid, so volume equals 1/3 side squared times height. So 1/3 times 4 squared times 9. So 1/3 times 16 times 9. 1/3 of 16 is a fraction, but 1/3 of 9 is 3. 3 times 16 would be 48. 48 cubic yards. So bonus time for that, that's cubic yards. How many cubic feet would that be to do this quickly without converting all of these into feet? Okay. So if you want to know, this is 48 cubic yards. If you want to know how many cubic feet are in there, remember 1 cubic yard is comprised of how many cubic feet? So if you have 1 cubic yard, that means you have 3 feet on this side, you have 3 feet here, and you have 3 feet here. 3 times 3 times 3 means it's 27 cubic feet in 1 cubic yard. So this would be a little under 48 cubic yards. You'd have to take 48 times 27, and it'd be 1,296 cubic feet. If you ever do any sort of construction or concrete work, you order your concrete from the concrete plant in cubic yards. So you have to measure your dimensions either in yards or you measure them in feet and then convert it into yards by dividing by 27. Okay, so if you ever do any concrete work, understand you are ordering in cubic yards. You're not ordering in cubic feet. Okay, that is a volume amount. So that's, I worked one summer in construction doing concrete work, sidewalks, basements, all sorts of stuff like that, and I never had to order it, but I did help figure it. Okay, help doing the measurements and help making sure the amount we ordered was correct. You don't want to have too little, and you don't want a whole lot left over either, because you're paying for it. 11.7. This is a rectangular pyramid. So 1/3 base times height. It's a rectangle, so 1/3 of length times width times height. That's 1/3 times 11 times 7 times 15. 1/3 of 15 is 5. 5 times 77. That'd be 350 and 35. That'd be 385, I think. 385 cubic meters. Nice that these numbers work out for us. Okay, here is a pentagonal pyramid, but they made it easy for us and they said the area of the base. Okay, so volume equals 1/3 the area of the base times the height. So volume equals 1/3 of 27 times 5. 1/3 of 27 is 9. 9 times 5 is 45. So we get 45 cubic centimeters. This is an oblique rectangular pyramid. You still do the same thing. Length times width times height. So 1/3 times 4 times 1 times 6. That's 1/3 times 24. That'd be 8 cubic feet. 8 cubic feet. Okay, word problems. Woohoo. A pyramid with a square base has a volume of 128 cubic inches. So they're giving us the volume, this is V, and a height of 6. Find the side length of the square base. So we have a pyramid, so volume equals 1/3 S squared H, because it's the area of the base, it's a square. So 128 equals 1/3 S squared times 6. So what I'll do first is the 1/3 times 6. That would be 2. So 128 equals 2s squared. Divide by 2, and you get s squared equals 64. So s, take the square root, s equals 8. So the side length would be 8 inches. Technically in algebra, you get plus or minus 8 out of that, but we're going to throw the minus out. That'd be an extraneous root, because you won't have a negative dimension. Number 8. A pyramid with a rectangular base has a volume of 6 cubic feet. The length of the rectangular base is 3 feet and the width is 1.5 feet. Find the height. So volume is 1/3 length times width times height. The volume is 6. 1/3 times 3 times 1.5 times height. So 1/3 times 3 times 1.5, that would end up being 1.5h. Divide by 1.5, and you'd get height to be 4 feet. Pyramid with a triangular base has a volume of 18. The height of the pyramid is 9, so that gives us the height, and the height of the triangular base is 3 centimeters. Okay, remember those two weird when you have height showing up twice. Find the width of the base. So volume equals 1/3 times 1/2 base times height times the big height. Okay, so I used a lowercase and an uppercase h. So the volume is 18 equals 1/3 times 1/2. They said we don't know that base, but the height is 9, and then the big, oh sorry, that one's 3, and then the big height is 9. Okay, so the height of the rectangular base, or the triangular base, is 3, and the height of the prism is 9. So we need to, on this side, we need to figure out what is 1/3 times 1/2 times 3 times 9 on that side. And then we have the other base right there. So 1/3 of 1/2. So 1/3 of 3 is 1. 1 times 9, 9 times 1/2 would be 4.5. So 18 equals 4.5b. And divide by 4.5, that'd be 9, that'd be 4. So b equals 4, another 4 centimeters. Okay. Similar pyramids. This is exactly what we saw in the last lesson. The pyramids are similar. Find the volume. Remember, the ratios of the volumes are the cubic ratios. So we need not linear ratios, we need cubic ratios. So we're going to look at the sides. It's 15 to 10. So it's 15. So 15 inches on this side means we have 10 inches over there. If I reduce it, it's 3 to 2. So for every 3 inches we have on the big pyramid, I have 2 inches on the small pyramid. Okay, so this is the linear relationship. We want the cubic one. So we're going to say 3 cubed. For every 3 cubic feet on this side, we're going to have 2 cubic feet on that side, which would be 27 to 8. So let's set up a proportion on the big one. So for A, my volume and my ratio, like we did last time. So my volume is 125, and that means that ratio is 27. So for every 27 cubic feet on the big one, sorry, you're probably not seeing that. Apologize for that. Okay, so the linear was 3 to 2. The ratio of the volume would be 3 cubed to 2 cubed. So it's 27 to 8. So the volume of pyramid A over its ratio has to equal the volume of pyramid B over its ratio. So 125 times 8 divided by 27, that's going to be x. 125 times 8 divided by 27. And 37.04. And we are in cubic inches. So that's how you do similar ones. Going over the assignment, find the volume of the pyramid. You have a rectangular pyramid, you have triangular pyramids. Here you get into finding the missing parts. Okay, draw shapes if it helps you. Okay, but they're telling you the volume, they want you to find the different parts. You have rectangular bases, rectangular base, square base, square base. What's the error? Find the height of the pyramid. This is just find the missing part. It's a rectangular one. Find the height. Pyramids are similar, just like our last example. Okay, and then 2 composite solids. These are going to be made up of rectangular prisms and rectangular pyramids. Okay, so find the volume of each individual part and then add them together. A triangular prism and a triangular pyramid. Okay, oh, it's raining a little bit. Okay, so that's 11.6, volumes of pyramids. We'll do some more volumes of surface areas coming up. So we will see you again soon, hopefully. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Whenever you watch this, take a deep breath, smile. You're alive. That's a good thing. So glad you're around still, and we will talk to you later.